I'm setting up a CNC vise. The most important thing that you need to be able to do is to set it so that the jaws are going to be in line with one of the axes. This is kind of a big vise for this particular tiny machine. It is a little bit tricky to set this thing up. The reason is because the holes in it don't line up with the slots. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to put these T-nuts into two adjacent slots. Now I could try to figure out and put some clamps on the end, or position this so I could clamp both sides. It's a little tricky with the clamps that I currently have. I think this is going to work fine because we're not dealing with very heavy machining of like metal parts or something. So I think it's going to be good enough. The most important thing, of course, are the jaws here, so we need to be measuring along that edge. What I've done is I've stuck the magnet on the back of the spindle over here, so I can bring the arm around here like this, and then I'm going to set this so that it's going to be able to run along the edge of this jaw. When you're working with a tiny machine like this, then the advantage is you can actually do things like this with the machine turned off, because if you're using an industrial machine you would need to be using the CNC control. You couldn't do this, but in this case we might as well take advantage of this. So I'm going to bring this, let's see, so it came from there. Okay, that's about 0 right there. That looks good. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn this and send this in that direction. There we go. Thousandth of an inch. Now for this, it doesn't really matter what kind of an indicator you have. This is just an indication of how far off you are, and you could convert that to millimeters. So end to end, it looks like, as I'm coming close to the end, it's less than 5/1000ths of an inch. I could start tapping around to make this perfect. I could do, but I think I'm gonna live with 5/1000ths of an inch. I'm going to tighten this up now. And then I'm going to recheck it and see, when you tighten it down it's going to be a little bit different. So they were just tightened loosely before. I'm going to bring this back over. I'm going to start over here maybe. The jaw, if we can get that close to 0. That looks like it's about 0 right there. And then I'm going to turn this and see if we still have couple of thousandths, 3/1000ths. You know what? Look at that. So it's within 5/1000ths of an inch. If I was smart, I would be able to tell you what that is in millimeters. What I'm doing here is I reposition that probe, and I'm going to bring this down so that it's now going to be touching along the top edge. So let's just check and make sure that this is parallel with the bed. Right now I'm going to move this axis along there. And one thing I'm concerned about is there's a notch in there. I don't want it to get stuck in the notch. Right here, right now, it's looking pretty good. Want about 1.5/1000ths. Let's see, it's on 0 right now. You know, for what we need for woodworking, I think this is going to be good. There is kind of a rumor going around that these Genmitsus actually lift up when you tighten them up. So I'm going to test that. Just looking at the way this is built, it's got these, these rods that go through the vise, and it's got these nice bushings here, which kind of hold the jaws pretty well. There is a little bit of side to side, which is actually a good thing, because, you know, your workpieces may not be perfectly machined. Like this is an actual piece that I'm going to be machining. I think these are fairly parallel, so I'm going to put these in here. And what I'll do is I'll check the vise before it's tightened up, and I'm going to check the vise after it's tightened up, and I may also check the top of this to see if this is lifting up like it's is being alleged at this point. We'll be able to measure it and see how much it's actually lifting. Force on there is obviously going to try to twist this, but the question is, how much is it? Can you live with the amount? Is it just negligible? You don't have to worry about it. So let's find out. I'm bringing down the Z-axis. Right now it's touching touching the top of the jaw. Just bring it to about there. Let's just give it and try and set that to 0. I'm going to tighten this up. I've got this is the workpiece in here. I'm going to set that up there. Tighten this up and let's see how much this is going to move. So I can push down on that and it's definitely moving. Now, if I tighten up on this one, you would expect if it goes clockwise, it means that this is lifting up. So there's a little bit of lift there. So I'm going to get this is how you're supposed to tighten this. So I'm going to tighten this so that it's reasonably tight to be able to hold the workpiece. Since this is a solid piece of wood, I don't want to clamp it too much so that it's going to just split the wood. Let's see. I've got that fairly tight there, and as you can see, it's not even 0.02 of an inch. Let's just run it along here and see how different this might be. Oops, hit the hole there. Hate that. Okay, so hit the hole and it might have knocked it off a little bit, but that's pretty good in my book. So maybe they improved these, I don't know. To me, this looks pretty darn good. This is actually an old cheap breadboard that broke. I'm using it to make some parts. Why not? So it's minus 0.02. I'm gonna go along here. -2 + 1 + 0.07 of an inch. That's not bad. So let's just try going along here. So it's a little bit higher over here. So if you're engraving, this is an issue if this is not flat. So I'm going to go over here, and it didn't go beyond 0.10 of an inch. And actually it's coming back again. It's coming back to the 0 points. So how far did it go? The maximum it went, and that's probably just the surface of this wood. And you would think also when you squeeze something like this, you would think that it would cause the wood to go in an arc like that. Send it back the other way kind of quickly. So it's going in the minus direction now. It's going to go -5. So it's okay. So that we have a little bit of a difference there. So the total, let's say it's 10. So 0.20 of an inch difference along the top of there. So if you can do a little face milling operation, take off 0.20, then that would take care of that. For the purpose of this little test, I think this vise is, as we say, pretty darn good. In an upcoming video, I'll be doing some actual wood cutting on the machine using the vise so we can see how it behaves under real cutting conditions. If you found this useful, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to see the next video, go ahead and subscribe. See you in the next one.